dum 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 First of all, if you're not listening to my show, you maybe want to start right now. Skip to 244. How's my commentary different from the others? I don't say no to stupid shit. Reference mode bro Shaco. Got you scratching your head, I'm Derek top lane. Got you ready to dance, I'm Eddie Blitzcrank. I'm known for losing, all facts here. And I'll keep on pushing the lanes. Rito! Give me the box. I'll show them who's boss. And I got 3 men in mid, 3 fakos. I'm Alistair Urquhart and I'm Zion. And we got Olaf support. Just follow us, okay? Mimic my movements, please learn from them. A higher elo and respect you can earn from. Having fun, eliminating sadness. I'm Victor Predley, and welcome to my half-hour show. Hello everybody, hey! Hello everybody, welcome to another amazing episode of the Half Hour Victor Show, starring me, Victor. That's right, Victor, not just any Victor, the real Victor, the best Victor, and definitely the only Victor you should be listening to, and you should definitely check out our YouTube channel, because we got some big cam, little cam going on here. For some reason, I'm the little cam, which is kind of annoying, because it's almost like saying I'm the little spoon. I ain't never no fucking little spoon, this is bullshit. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest on this week, because someone's a little bit angry, needs a bit of Victor therapy to help him get through the rest of his week. So everybody, welcome onto the show, Victor! Yay! Victor's here again. And this guy as well.
I don't know. I don't even know who I am at this point. Am I Victor, or the other Victor, the only Victor, the best Victor, or the only Victor that I should be listening to?
No, shush. There is only one Victor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's, I want to say Badger, but it's quit badgering me, so, I think, I better leave him alone.
Just say Spooger, like you usually do.
Yeah, everybody, it is Spooger! Woo!
And for the record, I always am the big spoon, so
that's what
this
he
is
thinks.
Perfectly fine.
That's what he thinks. So, welcome back, Mr. Badger. Welcome back. It's very lovely to see you today. The only difference between this time and last time you were on is that my earphone is a little bit flimsy. So,
that, and you actually get to see my lovely face this time if you're watching on YouTube.
Let's go with lovely. You're a solid 4 out of 50, if you ask me, which is not quite, which is not quite par on my 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
Some
happen.
guy is gonna come out and say, "Man, these guys kind of look like each other," and then you're just gonna be like, "No, well, you see, he's an 11 out of 10, or I'm an 11 out of 10, and he's a 4 out of 50 at least."
Oh boy,
which is less than a 1 out of 10, which is surprisingly, I'm actually impressed with that. I don't know how.
That feels kind of harsh, actually, saying you're less than a 1 out of 10. I'll give you at least a 4 out of 10. All right.
A 4 out of 10. Yep, a 4 out of 10, and the 4 out of 50. That's perfectly fine with me.
There you go. You can have both. That's how attractive you are.
Oh, okay.
You're so attractive. We had to measure you twice. All right, everybody. So Badger's a little upset this week, and I don't know why, but he seems to think he's a little bit upset, and he's been saying a few things. He's probably copying me, because I'm coming on this podcast, and I'm saying, "Fortnite, I will coach your team for free the second you give me all of your money." This guy seems to think he is worthy to coach Dignitas of the NALCS. Badger, just go have a chat for a second. I listen to everything. I am probably the best therapist on the planet. I'm happy to listen to all your problems.
Well, I don't know. I sat and watched the Dignitas game. Well, I watched today's because I wasn't home yesterday when they played. I don't even know who. Quite frankly, I don't even care, because one game enough is or 1 game a week is enough for me. They played Team 8 today, and I don't know. I would love to. Okay, first off, before I get ranting, Dignitas, I would love to coach your team for free. Just give me all your money first, and then I'll get going. I've heard that somewhere before, but I can't.
I don't know where.
Pinpoint it. But it just looks like the rotations. First off, I'm gonna pull a Monte Cristo here and say rotations about 50 to 60 times in the next however long.
Here at the Half Hour with Viktor show, we actually really like Monte Cristo, so keep going.
Yeah, cool. Monty's a cool guy, and I want to actually sit and have a chat with him one day about it. But I look at their team, and I have like 3 questions when I first look at a Dignitas game. It's who's shot calling, who's doing these shitty drafts, and why is Core JJ playing 80 carry? I mean, I have nothing against him. He's a good player, but it just seems like he just seems like he's lost. Oh, and also, well, who's jungling since they're on their 3rd jungler in 1 split? Start out with Crumbs. Crumbs steps down. Cloud comes in for a couple weeks, and he has some lackluster performances, so they bring in a Zingy who decides, hey, I'm going to revolutionize AP Vi.
Oh, boy. Isn't that his room pages? Took a,
Oh, they played TSM yesterday. That's who it was. He's like, yeah, I'm going to play AP Vi against TSM. So.
Yeah, because when you do something different against TSM, they lose the plot. They don't know what to do. Didn't you watch that IEM game against Unicorns?
Oh. Well, see, Jungle Twisted Fate actually worked back then. AP Vi? Not so much. Not so much at all. But I don't know. It's just, I'm pretty sure that they said when Cloud came in that Kiwi Kid wasn't doing any of the shot calling for the team. It was just on Crumbs. And it's like, well, we just lost our shot caller. You came straight out of solo queue. You're shot calling for this team. Have fun.
Oh.
And everyone's just like, what? No. I heard that and I was completely baffled at that point. And that's when I first started saying, hey, Dignitas, call me if you need a coach, please.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, you need people working in the background, putting together your team compositions. You need people in game who are actually going to fulfill a leadership role. If no one on your team is fulfilling a real leadership role, and you're just sitting in a fucking call being complete deaf mutes, then what's the point of showing up on the day? None of you are going to get into it, be like, we need to do this, and we need to do this now real quick, and everyone fucking goes there. And the second someone says something, I want the whole fucking team to turn that way. You ever watched a Korean game? It's like they all fucking telepathically know. If something happens, and then boop! They're all going that way. You don't fucking
magically know.
You don't see that in the Dig game.
See, yeah, I mean, well, 2/5 Korean, but that's not enough. It's just like seriously, when you watch a Korean game, I've been watching the GE Tigers, and they're the best team in the world right now. I mean,
yeah, man, get on that Viktor mid lane.
Viktor mid lane that nobody else could pull off in the world, it looks like, apparently. I guess you're not the only Viktor anymore. And
sadly, I'm not the only Viktor in the world anymore.
Oh, darn.
There is another in the mid lane. It's okay, I showed Faker that he was a scrub. I can show this new guy he's a scrub too.
Yeah, this other Viktor that's popping up. But actually, we did see in NA Keen, who was formerly of Korea, then moved to Australia. On your side of the world, now playing for Gravity, pulled it out against. Really pulled it out against. Gosh, man, I just like Liquid, because it was Liquid and Gravity, the sister teams, playing each other for the second time this split, but it just, I don't know. I'm not convinced by anybody that can play Viktor except for Koreans. And, well, Koreans, not NA Koreans. So.
Yeah, I reckon I don't know. To be a Viktor player, you got to be a fucking Viktor player. You know, he's not a champion like Xerath. You just pick up and then everyone's playing him. Or
Please don't get me started about Xerath.
Or Jarvan. Everyone just starts playing him. You know, Viktor's not as safe as Xerath. Viktor hasn't got his long ass range. He can't fucking walk 2 meters down the river and then ult bot lane for a double kill. You know, he doesn't do that. He got to get right up in there. Viktor's got to be right up in your face. You know, he's got to go into auto-attack range to get part of his combo off. You know, you have to be a Viktor player. You got to know what you can do on Viktor to actually pull him off. That's why I can play Viktor. I played old Viktor because, hey, I need to be the only Viktor, so I need to be playing this asshole.
Yeah. I mean, there's, like, cheese picks, and don't get me wrong, I'm good for a cheese pick if you pull it out occasionally.
Oh, yeah. Pocket picks should stay pocket picks.
These pocket picks are just... That's why they're called pocket picks.
That's why I get so angry at Fortnite all the time. They play their pocket picks every game. And then even Immunity down here in Australia, they're always pulling out some of their pocket picks. And I'm like, why are they pulling out their pocket picks? They should stick to the...
Play something standard and then... throw the pocket picks out as a surprise. That's
everyone's got a champion. Everyone's got a champion that they're just like that's not in the meta, but they can play and they can play it really well. But there's a time and a place for it. Like I can play Misfortune. But you want to know? You fucking asshole. But you want to know the thing about fucking? I'll tell you something about fucking. I won't actually tell you anything about fucking. I've completely.
I couldn't tell you anything either, my friend.
I've completely lost my my train.
Something about pocket picks.
What was I talking about? Pocket picks.
Pocket picks. Your phone went off.
Yeah, you know you play your standard shit and then you pull it out because like I can play Misfortune. You know I really like Misfortune. Misfortune is always going to be a pocket pick though. Because the thing about Misfortune is you have to play her into a specific composition. And then you got to think about she's not moving around much. When she ults, she's literally not moving. She is an immobile AD carry because she literally immobilizes herself. So you got to play her into a specific composition. Even then, she doesn't make or break a composition like Kog'Maw does. Like Kog'Maw makes the whole composition. You got to build around Kog'Maw. Misfortune just kind of complements a composition, you know. You got that.
She complements. Yeah.
You got that Amumu. Hey, let's maybe throw Misfortune in. That could help as well. Hey, we got
Curse of the
we got a Cassiopeia in the mid lane. Let's get a big old poison whiff and the big ass curse of the bullet time, and you shoot shit up. You know, that's the kind of shit we're looking at. Maybe you throw a Malphite or a Rumble ult in there as well. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It all works perfectly. And the thing that put that together was that beautiful Amumu ultimate.
So realistically, Misfortune, and then the person that sets it all up is the Amumu. So in the end, you're just shit. Pretty much. But I for one am a fan of pocket picks.
Oh, so am I.
Because it throws people off guard. You want to save your pocket picks towards the end of the draft, though, so they could be like, oh, well, because usually there's one thing that beats it, and one of the things that I've actually been playing that I enjoy is, this is a Season 2 throwback. Mid lane Jarvan.
Oh, you fucking talk about this on Twitter all the time.
Holy
shit.
My god, I love mid lane Jarvan. Mid lane Jarvan, for people who don't know what it's about, pretty much... You start a flask and 4 health potions. You back at 120, and by 134 you'll have enough gold for a 4th health potion. Take those, you go into lane, you play aggressive as can be, or you Q poke at level 1 to try and poke him down. And then at level 2, you casually go all in, and if you trade well, you put a second point in your Q at level 3. If you don't, you put a point in your W so that when you go all in at level 4, that's when you don't die.
Oh boy.
I mean, Jarvan has a pretty good level 2 power spike, but it's not as good as Lucian's.
Yeah, that Lucian level
level
fucking Twitter. I mean Twitch chat. Holy shit, you piss me off. Fucking 50 minutes into the game, they're like, it's okay, man, that level 2 power spike's coming.
But yeah, getting back onto the Jarvan thing, you try and go in at level 4, and if that doesn't work, you wait till 6, and you use your high base damage, 1-to-1 AD ratio ultimate that can, well, that looks like a dunk to dunk people.
You put them in the Thunderdome.
You put them in their place, pretty much.
Yeah, you put them in timeout for a bit.
You just put them right in the ground, anyways. So, but
I call it the Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome. I don't know if it's.
You're gonna use it now, aren't you? You're gonna be like, I'm gonna put them in the Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome. Well, I usually say, well, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. If I go on to at least 3 people, because then at that point, once you get into team fights, you go Hydra BT, Last Whisperer, and then 2 health items. And you dunk people, lock them in this circle, and do AoE damage with your Hydra, and you just destroy people. But it's such a gimmick pick because you have to rely on the early game so well. You have to get ahead in the early game and make sure that you can get at least one of your other lanes ahead in the early game. So you do that, and then you just win team fights, and you get like a level 10 dragon fight going on, and it's like, well, this 5-kill Jarvan just came and dunked us all. Oh well.
Yeah, gotta love that Jarvan pickup. Holy shit.
Jarvan always finds his way back in. I'm telling you, Jarvan's like the best champion in the game.
Always. I've been sitting on my ass while I'm bored, and I've been coming up with all these big champion rework ideas. Like my big rework ideas. I had one for Malzahar and Kassadin last week. I did 2 for them. Then there are some who I really want to do, like Gangplank. I really want to think up one for Gangplank, because he's one of my favorite champions. And I think, he's a pirate, you know? He needs to fight dirty, he needs to shoot shit. That's why he's ultimate. He fires from his ships, it doesn't fire from him, you know? He's getting outside help. And then I think about it for a second, I'm like, wait, dirty fighter, cheat, really slip, oh fuck, man, this is already what he's got! The kid he has is the kid idea I'm thinking of, because he shoots... He gets outside assistance from his ships. He breaks CC. He's got stupid amounts of movement speed because of his E, because it gives him passive movement speed. And
plus, on top of that, he's a pirate, so
he's a pirate. He poisons.
Well, he gets bonus gold whenever he last hits a minion with his Q.
Yeah,
so.
and he soaks his sword in fucking alcohol or whatever, so the wounds sting more. And he shoots shit. He just goes, pow! You know, I'm a melee, but I'm gonna break that rule. He's a
I'm gonna crit you. I'm gonna crit you.
I'm gonna crit you for your entire life, man. I don't care if you are full-time.
I was on a Gangplank top kick the one time, and I built 400 AD Triforce crit Gangplank. And a Vayne just comes walking out of the bush in their jungle right in front of me. And I'm like, I wonder if I can just ignite Q auto attacker and kill her. I didn't even need to auto attack.
I don't even know if you need to
Q'd and I just walked away.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, this is so much fun. And then I played that for like 5 games, and I was done.
I tell you, I like the smelly pirate, but the changes I want to see happen to him, and I don't know how they're going to do it. Like I have ideas for all these champions, but like the only thing I really want to see happen to Gangplank is lose his gold scaling and become a really strong early game champion. I don't think he needs his late game. I only think he needs a really strong early game. But I think but I reckon that means you need to sacrifice his gold earning. Because like the problem with him now is he's got this big gold earning thing, but he's not like a really strong late game champion. He's not a hyper carry like someone like Jax.
Right.
He's just got that. He's just got a ranged auto attack that he can use once every 4 seconds or something.
Yeah.
And then he's got really shit tank stats.
Yeah, he does. You look at his base tank stats, and it's just like, well, pretty much an 80 carry right here. Yeah. Let's do this.
It's an 80 carry that shoots once every 4 seconds. He's so good.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just not feeling it.
No, don't matter.
I tank plank, bank plank. There's just so many like
Spank plank.
spank plank's a good one. Bank plank's probably Rip Heart of Gold and Philosopher's Stone, but
Cage's lucky pick.
I'll give you that one. Cage's is perfect. Triple gold. Yeah.
I play
Cage's was in that build.
I play my rush. I rush a Sheen, and depending upon how the lane goes, I'll go Triforce or I'll go Iceborne Gauntlet. And I got heaps of different. Like I'll go for 3 damage items and then stack on, and then fill the rest with tank stats. That's how I normally do it.
Mm-hmm.
Crit plank scales better though, because you one shot people in the late game. But
yeah, you one shot shit, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
At that point, you're like, well, you're gone. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to.
yeah, I'll normally go like, fuck, what is it? I'll go like Triforce, Hydra, or maybe if I'm feeling it, I'll go for Bork, and then and then I'll get a Shiv as well. Then I'll get like Randuin's, Tabbies or Mercs, you know, shit like that.
Right.
That's my standard build. Sometimes I'll go for like a cooldown reduction heavy build. I'll get like Frozen Heart, Iceborne Gauntlet, and some CDR shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, that's normally when I get really far behind and I just want to become an annoying dude who slows people all the time.
Oh, this is the best though.
That's how I do it. 10 out of 10.
Gnar with Frozen Mallet.
Oh boy.
I can speed up and slow you down at the same time. Sorry about that.
You know, I muted that, but it just keeps playing out loud. Fuck that shit. Alright, Badger. I see you're wearing an Elements t-shirt. Why are you wearing an Elements t-shirt right now? I thought Elements were fucking terrible. They are playing like absolute ass, and you are supporting this team by wearing a t-shirt.
I am supporting this team by wearing a Elements. Hold on, I gotta make sure the. Yeah, close enough. It's an Elements shirt. I don't know. I just bought it, but Elements is an interesting situation. I look at Elements as a team, and I already told you this while we were warming up, and I'm like, God, just Elements.
I don't know if you were that angry. I mean, let's not exaggerate things.
I like exaggerating things sometimes, but looking at Elements, there's like EU top laners up here, and then Wicked's about here. He's a little bit below the rest of the EU top laner pool. There's a couple that give him a run for his money as being the worst in EU LCS, but I'm not going to mention any names. Worley. I'm sorry, I had a little cough there, but there's EU LCS top laners, there's Wicked, there's like Diamonds and Plats right here that actually know how to play in 1v2 situations, which you're trying to force as a team. Which, I don't know why you're trying to force 2v1 situations when you don't have a top laner that can 2v1. And then there's Kevin down here below these, like, Plats and Diamonds and stuff. But, Elements. Kevin is is decent in a 1v1, scenario. He seems to get outplayed fairly often. Like, his laning phase is fine, and then jungler comes in, goes back to being in that 1v2 situation, and he panics and he just dies. So, I don't know. I do like the pickup of Crepo instead of Nif for the support, though. It seemed like their bottom lane was re-energized, and Reckless seemed like he was back in his Fnatic Season 4 glory days. And Froggen's playing at a high level. Shook's... I don't want to say Shook's overrated, but he is...
Overrated.
Not the best. Well, he's a good jungler, don't get me wrong, but...
Overhyped.
Let's say that. Overhyped.
I think junglers in general are pretty overhyped. You know.
Yeah. I'd say so myself.
I never really see a lot of junglers. I think, wow, that fucking jungler, man, he really turned that fight around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
definitely turned that fight.
I mean, I've seen dandy games. That ain't no dandy.
He's not a dandy. But
Oh,
the way I
there's
look at
there's
it
never
is,
a dandy. It's so rare to find strong fighter players, like people who play
Right.
fighters and even some tank players. You know, you just think, come on, man.
those aren't the common roles these days. But I also thought about it, and at the same time, people give top laners too much flack because and I'm pretty sure Dyrus is the one that said this, but when you look at competitive top laners, they have to be able to 1v1 against the top laner, 1v1 against the AD carry, 1v2 against the top laner and the support, 1v2 against the AD carry and support, and then 2v1 with a support against like an AD carry or 2v1 with a support against a top laner or something like that, depending on how the rotations go. And then you also have to be able to 2v2 with your support against their bottom lane. So it puts them into it's an interesting situation that you really can't completely practice, especially when you only have like 4 days of practice or whatever he did with Kevin. Hell, they lost 2 bans for both their games the week that he came in because they didn't get the paperwork in time. But looking at it, I could see some room because Kevin used to be, I'd say, one of the top 3 top laners in Europe when he was still slightly relevant in Season 4 towards the beginning of it. And I don't know, I'll give him some time, but he's only got like 3 weeks left to prove it because the playoffs are coming up for EU, or the LCS split. The LCS, well, both LCS splits, they're like in April or something like that because they have a week off for IEM. Not next week, but the week after that. So 3 weeks of regular season left and then a week of IEM. So they have like a month and a week to prep for playoffs. So it'll be an interesting situation. They really need to work on his 6 different lane matchups that he could be potentially going against as a top laner when you think about the combinations. And that's, I mean, people give top laners hell, but they're some of the most diverse players because the meta shifts so quickly, it seems like, in top lane. And they have, some of those guys have deep pools, like Cali Trolls from Team 8 and Quas from Liquid. They're just like, well, I'm going to roll this 16-sided die real quick. And whatever number I get, that's the top laner I'm playing this game, I guess. Because Cali Trolls has come out and said he has at least 20 top laners that he would play in an LCS game today. Like, it's like, well, I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to pull out Karma top lane now.
Oh my god, no, please. I'm going to have to cut you off there. Holy shit, that's too crazy for me.
That's... Oh,
I
man.
mean,
I
player in the
know
support role, player in the jungle, player fucking it all. You can do any of that, but not the top lane. But Zillion top lane, current Zillion top lane, that's where it's at, my friend.
Split push Zillion? Is that what we're talking about right now?
No, I've worked it out, see. I've worked it out. Now, have you played New
I wanna
Zillion?
hear this.
Have you played New Zillion?
With the double bombs that can stun?
Yeah.
Seems pretty strong.
You know what? I think you build him like you've always built Zillion, you know. Not that I know what you used to build Zillion as, but I'm pretty sure you used to get a little bit of AP in there. Maybe some... Depends where you play him. I mean, if you're in mid or in the support role. But you know what?
Right.
He lost a lot of damage on those Qs, especially because it's not just instant pow-pow. You know, or pow and then pow. And it's not like just place it on him, you know. You actually got to lob him. You know, that's the most... It's so fucking clunky, and especially the targeting system on those bombs. Absolute piece of shit. But I worked something out. If I throw a bomb on my head, and throw another bomb on my head, I'll get that stun every time. Because I'm just lobbing them on top of my head. I don't have to go, over there! Woo! I missed. No, and then, like, sometimes you throw it at him, it lands on a fucking minion. It's just annoying as shit. And, and then you have to land 2 skill shots in order to land your stun. That's very, very unreliable and it's just clunky. The targeting system is so very clunky. But I worked it out. Throw 2 on top of my head, I'll land the stun. No problem. And the damage on them not as great as it used to be as well. So I thought, okay, 99% slow, slightly increase in stun duration, only slightly. I'm gonna go for a 99% slow, 99% speed up. And then I thought again, okay. Now I can upgrade, I can rank up my rewind and get more 99% slows, more 99% rewinds. Or I can get slightly more stun, tiny bit more damage. I'm going for rewinds because I want to speed and slow people more.
Right. That's what he's turning into at this point. Yes, I play with time and I'm a CC.
Yes, and then I thought about
like
his ultimate, and I said, okay, it's got alright AP scaling, but you know what? That and his Q are the only things that have scaling at all. His E and his W don't have scaling, and the way I'm built and the way I'm leveling his skills, they're the two main useful skills in the kit, and the other ones they do their job just fine without any kind of scaling. This motherfucker don't need any scaling in his kit. He really doesn't. He's got a stun. He's got a thing to lower all his cooldowns, 99% slow or speed up, and a Guardian Angel for an ultimate that's on a fucking 60-second cooldown. Pretty much. So I thought about it.
It's just utility at this point.
And I said to myself, why the fuck don't I just stack on tank? And now,
pretty much,
I can stack.
It seems like that would be his best build.
Full tank Zillion. I can throw a bomb on my head, run in, throw another one on my head, and I stun everyone. And then I can just keep casting, and you know the old problem with Zillion? Getting bursted before he can ult a useful target. Like that hypercarry's getting killed, well, it doesn't matter, because that hypercarry's taking a lot of damage, it doesn't fucking matter, because the enemy bursted down Zillion, so we had to force it on himself, or just die without using it at all. If I'm tank, I don't gotta worry about that. I can take the damage. I'm full of tank, and if I'm taking too much damage, I just run away because I got a 99% speed up, and then I can rewind and speed up my hypercarries. And I had two hypercarries. I had a Vladimir and I had was it a Kog'Maw or I think it was a Vayne actually. It was Vayne and Vladimir, and I just kept speeding them up. And Vladimir kept pooling and coming up and spraying his blood everywhere and sucking shit out of people and pooling again and using his Zonyas. And then they finally got very close to killing this dude. And here I come speeding over, brought him back to life. And then they tried fighting me and they couldn't damage me and I kept slowing them. And then Vladimir came up and I was speeding him again. And he fucking went and got a quadra kill before he finally died. And then I just ran away because I was too tanked to die. So you know what? Tank Zillion is the way to go now because there's no other build for him. You build him damage, you're not getting damage. You only got one damage ability. You just get a stronger ultimate, and then you got to worry about being bursted down all the time. So there you go.
There we go. That's Zillion in a nutshell. Somehow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next time you play Zillion, get yourselves a Frozen Heart, a Righteous Glory, plenty of wear mags to go around. I worked it out, man. I know Zillion. And he's so fucking fun. I played him, the first time I played him, I'm like, you know what? Like, I built him what you'd expect to build on him, like a bit of AP and whatever. And and it was shit. I died all the fucking time, and I was really weak, and I couldn't make anything happen. But running around at full speed... that shit was fun.
Yeah, because it's pretty fun to just run around the map.
You know, once you get to 40% CDR, you can throw a bomb, rewind, wait to the last second before you throw your next bomb, throw it, you get the stun, wait for that one, your rewind will come off cooldown, rewind, throw another bomb, and you can get another stun on your third bomb.
Not bad.
With enough CDR.
That's balanced, Riot. Thanks, Riot.
Thanks, Riot. Zillion, man, that's where it's at. He's a spam bot, man. He I don't know if you've seen how much he casts. He casts a lot. It rewinds down to like a 3.5 second cooldown or something with max CDR. He casts a lot. He casts a hell of a lot. He's where it's at. Riot, you need to not do anything to my champion now, please. He's in my champ pool now. He's so good. And that's how I feel about Zillion. 10 out of 10 champion. Except you can only play him with hypercarries. Like, you're picking him with, like, Graves and stuff, you're doing it wrong. I learned that the hard way. Especially passive Graves players. God damn it.
There's just, if you play passive as Graves, you're playing Graves wrong.
I've
And you shouldn't play Graves.
I've played with passive Leonas who stand behind me as like Draven or Caitlyn. They stand behind me while I'm trying to trade.
I've seen that before too. So, I wanted to get back to the Dignitas thing before we end it real quick because I looked at their order. I pulled up the order of their draft from today against Teammate because they didn't have it right in front of me. I don't know why I didn't do that, but they banned LeBlanc, Aurelia, Lysandra. Those are 3 good bans, and they had Rumble, Cassidy, and Jarvan taken off the field from them from Team 8, and they first pick Rek'Sai. So, what's their response? Well, we have this mid laner that's pretty good, so, and he's confident, but he's off his game, because he's playing with a new jungler for the 3rd time this season. I have an idea, let's just throw him on Ahri, and try and hard carry it from there. Oh, we'll just take this Annie Peiko too. I mean, she's a good support. Then it just showed, I don't know. One of the things I have to say with Dignitas now that they have a Zingy on the team, a Zingy's champion pool is Vi when he actually builds AD on it, Fiddlesticks, and Karthus. They need to find a jungler that has a deep pool, because they last picked Fiddle into Gragas, Sivir, Morgana.
That's how I play Fiddlesticks.
I don't know who's doing the.
You have you have the. Did they have last pick? Like the last
pick.
They had the last pick. When you got the
last pick.
When you have the last pick, you have the whole board. You can take that one champion to break down the whole. That's why I prefer red side. You get that last pick. I like being last pick, except when people keep taking my fucking.
I love being red side because it forces you could do a situation where you leave 3 picks up that are like 3. You got your 3 power picks. Like you leave your strong top laner, your strong jungler, and your strong mid laner up, and then it gets over to the other team, and you're like, well, you could either take this one, or this one, but just remember, if you take this one, we get the other 2. And then you get the last pick to be like, well, get the one to round it all out. So that's why I like red side.
Yeah, I like red side too. Yeah, Fiddlesticks, like, and we saw it in, I think that was Teammate came down mid lane. Now, we're ready to make this big engage. The Tibbers came down, and Fiddlesticks was ready to ult over the wall. There was no ward in there. Gragas just threw a fucking barrel, and he got blown away. He was just like, I suppose Fiddlesticks is ulting right now. Ugh. And that was the end of Fiddlesticks. And even if Fiddlesticks went over that wall, Gragas has a placeable monsoon. He just goes and sends him away. Morgana can cage him and then everyone can walk away. He can try and fear an AD carry, but it don't matter because What's-Her-Face has got a black shield and he just walks away. Yeah. That's how it works.
Like, well, you can get to the AD carry, but you can't fear him because he has this black shield thing on him.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
They just, and I looked it up, their coach is the same person as their life coach, so Dignitas, just please hire me.
Yes, Dig, give him all of your money, and he will come and work for you for free. And that's all you have to do, Dignitas. So thank you, Dignitas, for coming and watching my podcast, for one thing. That's definitely important.
First off, thank you, Dignitas, for checking this out. If there is anybody in the Dignitas organization, just, drop me a line. I will gladly do an interview.
Of course. Dignitas, you know where it's at. The Viktor Show. So come and make me your coach for free, and then give me all of your money. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to finish that up there. There's a Viktor view. There's a nice little Viktor view with Viktor.
It's a Viktor view.
It's a Viktor view. That's what I'm going to call it. It's a Viktor view. It's not a half-hour Viktor show. It's a Viktor view. Especially because we're in about 7 minutes overtime or some shit. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You went for like an hour last time you were on. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not bringing you on.
Well, that was also the time that it was Season 4 Worlds time, so we had a nice little discussion about each group. And
yes.
I believe that I picked Samsung White to win Worlds, and they ended up winning Worlds, so...
Oh, boy. Who could have guessed that?
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thought that the best team in the world would win Worlds? I guess Blue was the best team in the world at that point because they won the Korean Championship.
Blue was the best. Blue was the best team in the world at the time. So, but
Okay.
I will shut up so you can take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to the Half Hour with Victor show. The Victor View, starring me, Victor. I'm gonna upload it as the Victor View. All right, you happy with that?
Yep.
All right, this has been the
Sounds good.
Victor View, not a Half Hour with Victor show, a Victor View, and I'm still looking into getting separate RSS feeds for Tribal, and maybe when Modbro actually gets off his ass and does something, that'd be cool. He's busy though. I'm not gonna harass him, but we're working on it, and someone's messaging me on League of Legends. But thank you very much for listening, everybody. This is me, Victor, your host, Victor, the best Victor ever, Victor, and definitely the only Victor you should be listening to. Follow me on Twitter at Victor Bradley, and follow Mr. Spooger at Quit Badgering Me. Very interesting name. And feel free to give us all of your money, specifically me, not so much him. And I guess that's it. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay.